Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Karam, board certified facial plastic surgeon and founder and creator of KaramMD Skin. I specialize in facial rejuvenation, which basically means I help people look as young as they feel. And on today's episode of Skin School, we're going to talk about a very interesting topic, and that is Martha Stewart and how at age 81 she looks as good as she does. And as you all know, she recently graced the cover of Sports Illustrated magazine and really went into an entire discussion and openness about what she does to look as good as she does at age 81. And really there's a lot of very valuable points and lessons and opportunities to learn. And I'm gonna break those things down and I'm gonna analyze it with you so you can understand that a little bit. But before we do, let's address the elephant in the room, right? I put this on one of my Instagram feeds and immediately there was questions about it. So I'm gonna go straight into it. You know, when I talk about looking great and looking youthful and looking as young as you feel, I always break it down to two categories, right? I say there's shape, the young looking facial shape, which is considered, heart-shaped, and there is the skin. What's young skin look like? It's free of wrinkles, it's supple, it's free of discoloration. It just has a youthful bounce and glow to it, right? Now, please do not mistake these two things. They do not overlap one another. In other words, you can have young looking skin at any age, and you could have an aged facial soft tissue form, which is consistent with somebody in their 50s or 60s or 70s or 80s, right? The skin is really something that you manage on your own. Shape is what plastic surgery addresses. So what's the elephant? What's this thing? So she, has this picture of herself on Sports Illustrated, and a lot of people raise their hands and say, Martha Stewart has denied over years that she's had any kind of plastic surgery done. Her photos look as good as they do because she's had plastic surgery done. I'm gonna stop right there and just say this. Who am I to say whether she's had plastic surgery done or not, right? I mean, I'm just a lowly facial plastic surgeon who talks about all these different topics and treats patients every day. So I'm not gonna go there, right? I'm not gonna try to analyze her face and tell you whether she's had plastic surgery done. We're gonna give, credit and benefit of the doubt where it goes. But this is what I wanna say for you all who want to understand. It's very straightforward if you wanna know if somebody had plastic surgery done or highly airbrushed and edited photographs. It's simple. You look at the photo that's on Sports Illustrated cover, you look at some of the photos that have been taken during the years past, and you look at them side by side and you say, does the jawline look tighter? Is the neck less lax? Are there less looseness and folds around the eyes, etc.? If all that's there, then it's either one of those things. It's either plastic surgery or it's airbrushing, because you cannot have shape change without plastic surgery, facelifts, etc., right? That's simple as that. The shape is addressed with surgery. Now that we've addressed that, and I'm gonna leave it to you to come to your own conclusions, but none of that is relevant to the point that I wanna really make, and that is, she really does exemplify and inspire good skincare habits that are responsible for, throughout her entire life, of having very youthful looking skin. And in this particular article, she addresses some of the main aspects of this. And I think all of these things we're gonna learn from, we're gonna discuss, and I'm gonna tell you some of the good stuff there that I think are very positive, and stuff that I think definitely can be improved upon, and also there may be more practical solutions for everyone else. All right, so let's break this down. So when you look at Martha Stewart's skin, overall, it has that suppleness that I mentioned, it's free of fine lines and wrinkles, and its coloration is nice, even tone. Lifestyle plays a huge role in that. What do I mean by that? It's a habit that year after year after year produces the results that we see. And what are those habits? Well, starting at the very top, we have sun protection, right? We talk about it a lot. Sun protection is the absolute key. Wearing sunscreen that is, UVA and UVB protectant, so a mineral-based, broad-spectrum sunblock, use it routinely, be obsessive about it. Your skin at any age will thank you for it, right? So skin aging, sunblock. Then there's lifestyle. Diet is really important, eating healthy, whole foods, not eating lots of processed foods, sugars, etc. Not smoking. Smoking is a massive accelerator of skin aging. You see it all those people with lines and thick and kind of leathery looking skin. Sun and smoking are huge in that way. And then, good stuff like sleeping, low stress, hydration, etc. All that kind of stuff play a big role. There's one component that I stress a lot. So those are like the basic lifestyle stuff that you do. But in addition to that, you need to put active skincare ingredients on your skin. I'm a huge believer and fan of that, only because people like Martha, who's been doing it for decades, many of my patients who are in their 70s and 80s who have amazing looking skin like she does, have taught me that the way that they maintain this beautiful looking skin is through these two things, sun protection and daily use of active skincare ingredients. What do I mean by active? Active means that it's not just a moisturizer that adds moisture and plumps up the skin, right? Not an expensive over-the-counter thing that you buy at a fancy department store or a high-end retailer that costs $300 and it literally is just a moisturizer. Active ingredients are things that are working at the biological and biochemical level, at the DNA level, that are stimulating things like collagen. They are increasing the amount of collagen that's produced so the skin gets thicker over time, where natural collagen production is decreasing. You're actually going the other direction through active ingredients. Also, you are decreasing the production of pigment developed at the melanocyte level, which is the cells that produce melanin, which is, once again, the pigments. So you're decreasing that so the skin looks more even. You're doing things that are altering the oil production so pores don't get clogged up. You're bringing in things that are going to protect the skin barrier. You're going to do things that are going to decrease the oxidation, by detoxing the tissues and bringing antioxidants in. All of these different things, are active. They're doing something biologically measurable. And that's what you want to do. And then we're going to talk about what that exactly is. So daily use of active ingredients is key. All right, so let's go through each product one by one. The first one is the Yonka Gamage. This is an exfoliating mask. It's used several days a week, and it's a gentle exfoliant. And as you all know, I'm big on an exfoliation. It's a good thing. Number two is the Susan Seminelli Hydrating Mask. Now, this is used on days that you're not using the exfoliating mask, and conceptually good to use hydration, probably not super necessary if you're getting hydration in your skincare routine in other ways, but nevertheless. Number three is the Mario Badescu Super Collagen Mask. Now, I'm not a big fan of using topical collagens. The molecules are generally too big to enter the skin, but I do like the fact that this has some brighteners in it that can help with discoloration. Number four is the Chanel LeBlanc Intensifying Brightening Foam Cleanser. This is a gentle, non-abrasive cleanser, which I really like, and apparently has some components that help with brightening the skin as well, which we like. This one you generally can use from the neck down as well. Number five is the Mario Badescu Facial Spray with aloe herbs and rose water, apparently restoring dehydrated skin. Number six, the Yonka Lotion Toning Mist, a hydrating toner that includes some hyaluronic acid. That's about the only thing I like toners for, is if they have an active ingredient like hyaluronic acid. Generally speaking, I find this to be an unnecessary part of skincare routines and an overused one. Number seven is SkinCeuticals CE Ferulic, which is basically 15% ascorbic acid and 5% ferric acid. Overall, a good concept. I'm huge on vitamin C. I think it needs to be a part of every skincare routine. Number eight, another Badescu vitamin C. Now, this feels very redundant to me to use two different vitamin Cs. Obviously, vitamin C has a lot of pluses, but you don't need two different ones. Number nine, the BioEffect Epidermal Growth Factor Day Serum. Now, growth factors are very useful in many different ways. They stimulate collagen and they have a lot of different benefits. So I'm not familiar with this particular one in terms of clinical studies, but overall, growth factors are a good thing. Number 10, the SkinCeuticals Physical Fusion UV Defense SPF 50. Can't say anything bad about this. It's overall, a good SPF. Full spectrum block is necessary and important. I'm glad to see it as part of her list. The number 11 is a massage cream. This brings extra moisture, especially if you're feeling a little dry. You don't use this all the time. And again, it has one of those important ingredients, which is hyaluronic acid and a TC complex, which apparently supports the appearance of moist and supple skin. But the hyaluronic acid is the key. Number 12, another Susan Seminelli product. This is an algae deep cleanse. I'm not super familiar with algae in the sense of what it does to purify the skin, but that's what it's used here, and it apparently it reduces the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles and exfoliates through digestion some of the dead skin cells on the surface. So in theory, overall, a good concept. Number 13, the Chanel Gel to Oil Cleanser. Now this is the one that has some brighteners in addition to it, and apparently this is the one she uses on her face, while the other one she uses from the neck down. Number 14, another Yonka Pamplemousse. This is a revitalizing cream with grapefruit extract, and it's supposed to help make the complexion a bit more matte by minimizing pores, etc. Now, pores is a complicated topic, and I'm not convinced any particular single cream category is going to do that. It's a series of things that have to come together, but there's a whole video on that you should check out. Number 15 is a moisturizer. This is combined with lactic and amino acid. Again, there's a lot of moisturizing going on here, and although it's necessary, it's probably not the most efficient approach to bringing moisture into the skin. Hyaluronic acid in and of itself is probably the most efficient way to do it. At the end of this, it's about $1,100. 15 individual products, $1,100. Imagine the inventory management of trying to keep up with what runs out, what to replace, all that kind of stuff. It's challenging. It's been challenging for my patients for years, and I'm going to talk about what led me to creating a solution for this, but just know that that's one of the impracticalities of this particular routine. All right, so what I did was I broke down the 15 different products, and I broke it down into the things that she has in her routine and the things that I believe that are missing that you should consider having in your routine because they play an important role in anti-aging. So as you can see here, what she has is good sun protection, SPF, good sunscreen. She's got brighteners. She has growth factors that stimulate collagen in indirect ways. There's vitamin C, there's hyaluronic acid. Then there's some exfoliating masks and a gentle, non-abrasive cleanser. I love all that. That is all fantastic. Now let's take a look at what she needs, in my opinion. She needs a retinol. Retinol is absolutely one of the most important anti-aging ingredients because it's multitasking. It stimulates collagen, decreases pigmentation, cell turnover. It has a little bit of exfoliating ability, so it has a lot of very important roles, and retinol should be a part of a good skincare routine. One of the things that's clearly missing here, but I think she makes up for it because she's so hardcore about wearing hats and good SPF, is skin lighteners. So things that are going to decrease pigmentation. For example, in addition to retinols and vitamin C, there are a number of different botanical lighteners that decrease the stimulation of melanocytes and melanin. I think these are very, very important, especially if you live an active lifestyle outside and have a lot of sun damage to work with. I'm a big fan of lipids, non-comedogenic oils. These are things that once you add to the skin, it decreases the natural production of them so that you decrease the cloggage of pores, and pores therefore go from being dilated to more shrunken and you can see them less. And ultimately, of course, pigment control, which is in that same vein that I just mentioned. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about practical aspects, because I can tell you for sure that it's going to be nearly impossible for you to go out and get yourself on a multi-product regimen, even if it's not 15 products, if it's 8 or 10, and stick with it. I've just known that because I've put people on these type of regimens, and very few people that are like Martha or my wife, for example, who have historically been able to stay perfectly lined up with 8, 10, 12 steps of her daily and nightly routine. Most people can't do it. So here's the answer to that particular problem. So a good skincare routine needs these basic functions. Number one, you need to stimulate collagen. This is the core of skin aging. Collagen decreases, you need to stimulate, because what happens to collagen? Collagen makes up the thickness of your skin. If your skin gets thinner, it gets fine lines, it gets crepey, it just looks inelastic. It's the stuff that makes skin look old. So you really need to increase collagen production, especially perimenopause and after menopause. When estrogen levels drop, collagen production really drops. But reality is that it's happening from our mid-20s on. It affects men and women. Same story, just happens to be accelerated during the perimenopausal, menopausal years. But you really want to stimulate that, and those are going to be things like retinols, vitamin C, growth factors, niacinamide, and the certain peptides that are going to stimulate, and that's working at the DNA level. You also want to decrease pigmentation for the reasons I just mentioned, so you need to have things that are going to control pigment production. You need things that are going to increase the hydration of the skin, because that will give the skin an immediate plumpness. Those are things like hyaluronic acid that draw water and make the skin look more plump. Fine lines and wrinkles will be improved by that, as well as just the overall suppleness of the skin will immediately look better with hyaluronic acid, for example. You also want to decrease the production of oils. That's where those non-comedogenic oils come into play, things that are going to, they're basically in the category of lipids, that are going to decrease the production of natural oils that will then potentially clog up. You also want to exfoliate the surface of the skin, remove the top layers so that the skin can breathe. So now we're talking still lots of roles, a lot of things you need to do. Well, this is where I developed something that I thought was game-changing in a way, because I really wanted people to be able to get all these benefits, but not have to deal with going out and searching for the right retinol, the right vitamin C, the right hyaluronic acid, and putting it together the way Martha did. I put it all together in the trifecta. 3 steps, gentle cleanser, a very powerful vitamin C, and then a multitasking anti-aging cream called Illuminate. You put these 3 things together, you have the trifecta. Takes a couple minutes to do them, AM and PM. And in addition to all the things that she's doing, it's got everything that she needs, in addition to other things that we haven't even really talked about, like a lot of barrier control and stimulation of antioxidants and all those kind of really important things that make skin healthier in the long run. The beauty of this concept is that, remember what I said earlier, consistency is the absolute key to good skin, right? So you got to be good with sun protection, and you got to be good with your actives. If you do these together and you do them day in and day out, year over year over year, your skin's going to look younger and better as time goes on. And it's hard to do that when things are complicated. So that's what the magic of something as simple as a trifecta is. It allows you to be adherent to a simple program like this. At the end of it, what's also very important, this is so important, and I can't speak to Martha's routine this way, because you want to make sure something is actually making the changes that you are looking for. How do you clinically test 15 different random ingredients, right? It's very difficult from different brands and different things. Like, how do you know that they're not conflicting with each other? They're not chemically, working against one another and different things like that. So one of the advantages of something like the trifecta is I got the chance to clinically test it, third party, shows efficacy on all the different levels that we just showed. That is key to the reassurance in my mind as the person who's promoting it for you, but also for you who's using it, to know that your skin's actually making these changes. And when your clinical studies show that month over month these changes get better, it gives us a lot of reassurance that we're doing the right things. Not only because it's been clinically tested, but you also know these particular ingredients have been around for a long time and they actually work. So here's what we know. Looking back at this whole story, whether Martha Stewart had plastic surgery or not, let's just forget that. Let's just focus on what she brings to the table. Healthy lifestyle, drinks green juice, takes good care of her skin, excellent with sun protection, is doing it for decades. This is what we see. We can all learn from that. I'm a big fan of that type of commitment. I'm a big fan of good habits like that, and it shows. Can't deny that. So folks, I think there's a lot to glean from this. Let's not get critical about whether she wants to express whether she's had plastic surgery or not. I don't even know. Like I said, I haven't gone through it. This is irrelevant to me. I haven't gone through and examined the different photos and all that kind of stuff. I don't think it's really important to the topic that we're discussing here. All right, folks, I hope you got something out of that. I know it's a bit of a complicated topic, but it really should just be very simple. It's like, you need this, stuff to make your skin better in the long run. Do it every single day. Don't look back, and you will 100% see benefits in the long run. All right, so if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. Lots of good skin school material like this. And if you enjoy the topic, please like it and share it to some friends and family. We would love for you to get the word out and help more people understand how simple of a story all this can be once you understand the science and the knowledge behind it. Here's to empowerment. Folks, thanks so much. Dr. Amir Karam.